I think I like this Raw. I'm not 100% sure, though. In a bubble, I think this was a fine Raw because, like, it went by relatively quick. I enjoyed myself. However, they did some long-term damage to certain characters. It's like, okay, it made sense for Obafemi to beat Dominic Mysterio, but Dominic Mysterio is your AAA champion. Did we have to beat him in 4 moves? Like, when he also had the help of somebody else in his faction? Couldn't we have just, like, made it not Dominic Mysterio? I mean, I'm not even saying don't let Oba not win. I'm just saying don't let Oba win against the AAA champion, especially when when AAA is red hot. Like, Triple H, are you that jealous of Undertaker's booking that you gotta bury his champion? Just make it somebody else. That's all you had to do. Yeah. So let's just get into it because I did like the opening segment. The opening segment was really cool, and this is your Monday Night Raw one take, one shot review. I do it immediately following the show. That way you get my gut reaction. Can't go to bed and be like, yeah, you know what? Wake up in the morning. Yeah, they should have buried Dominic Mysterio. That was a really good call, burying the world champion of another organization. No, I'm going to tell you how I feel in this moment. Roman Reigns, he comes out and apparently he has like some dude that just waits for him to hand him the belt. I don't know what Roman is saying, but it sounds like he's yelling, boy! And then this guy comes and says, here you go, your belt. And if you want to win this belt, you, the viewer out there, you can. No, for real, I'm going to give away this belt right here. All you got to do is comment below and subscribe to the channel. At 30,000 subscribers, I'm going to give away the belt. So please help me out because I really think I'm going to get fired from my job in about 2 months, if not sooner. Long story, but I need to go full-time on YouTube. So please share this channel with some of your friends and you can win this $600 replica belt. You see? It's not a toy, it's a replica. All right, let me put it down. And let's talk the Bloodline. Unlike a lot of YouTubers out there, I actually enjoy the Bloodline. I know that's heresy. I'm supposed to hate the Bloodline. Oh, they've been going on for 6 years and blah, blah, blah. And you know what? That is valid. I understand why people might have some Bloodline fatigue. However, I actually still like the Bloodline. But you know what I don't like? I don't like that people cheer them like they're baby faces. So, again, I love the Bloodline. But I also love heels. The Bloodline, they are a heel faction. I don't understand why people like cheer them like they are baby faces. They are not. Roman Reigns did so much manipulation. He was manipulating everybody like the good old days when he was just a tyrant way back in 2021-22. He was doing that all throughout this episode. I'm not even joking. I might literally do a video just on every moment that Roman Reigns manipulated people tonight. He gaslit. He went behind people's backs. He played on people's raw emotions. He like acted like he was complimenting Jay and Jimmy, but he wasn't. He was proving a point to Jacob Fatu and entrapping him and like saying, oh yeah, I called an audible and all these things. Like, no, my gosh. Roman is like playing everybody against each other to hold power. And he's being ruthless about it. And in the process, he's burying Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce, like, can do nothing against Roman Reigns. Like, it is insane how much they have buried Adam Pearce with Roman Reigns. And here's the thing. I personally love it. But at the same time, it's annoying to me that everybody else is acting like he's a babyface. We need to acknowledge that Roman is a heel. He is absolutely a heel. And I do like it. I do like it. So Roman, he gets in the ring and he's like, I acknowledge Jay, I acknowledge Jimmy, but Jacob, why aren't you acknowledging them? Everybody else is acknowledging them. And Jacob's like, don't get it twisted, I'm only acknowledging you. And then Roman's like, yeah, I like that. Here, you're not a yes man. And then he gives him an Ula Fala. Like, He just happened to have an Ula Fala there. He gives him an Ula Fala, and the best happens is, so they're leaving, and Jay and Jimmy are like, what was that all about? I thought you were gonna, like, you know, but then there's this, like, comedian, what's his name? Eric André, Eric, something like that, and he's like, yeah, Roman, and Roman, like, gives him the fist bump, and then Jay's all mad about Jacob, so he doesn't do nothing. Jimmy's like, oh, yeah, dog, what's up? And then Jacob walks by, and Eric, Andre, whatever his name is, he's like clapping him on the back. He's like, oh, that's a nice Ula Fala, because he's in the ring. He bought a ticket, got a ticket, and then Jacob unhinged and like just pulls him over the ramp and starts beating the crap out of him. And the Bloodline are up the ramp now. They kind of turn around and they're watching all this. And Jacob is just going nuts. He's going nutsoid. And this is the proper way of using a celebrity, because this celebrity, he's in an actual movie on Netflix with John Cena, so this is good promotion, but he's getting the crap kicked out of him, and he's making Jacob look like $1 million, right? So Jacob pulls him in the ring, and he's about to do his, like a splash on him. And Roman is like, no. And then Jacob's like, oh, okay. So Jacob is not going to do it. And then Roman's like, okay, do it. See, right there. Roman just wanted to exert his power over Jacob. And then once Jacob submitted to Roman, then Roman allowed him to do what he wanted. To show Jacob that, like, see, you listen to me, you're going to get anything you want. You really will get anything you want because I love you, Jacob. You're now part of the family, Jacob, but you better listen to me first. And so Jacob does it. Adam Pearce is there trying to tell him no, and it doesn't matter. Adam Pearce can do nothing about it. He can do nothing about it. And so then Jacob and Roman leave. Roman's like, I got it. And then Roman just stops, and he turns to him, and he's like, do it again. Why not? Just do it again. And then Jacob does it again. He does it again. There are no ramifications. Adam Pearce doesn't say a word. Could you imagine if Braun Breaker had dared even looked at that comedian in the wrong way? Adam Pearce would have been in Braun Breaker's face. But no, it's Roman, so he doesn't do that. And again, don't forget, people, I love Roman Reigns, but the hypocrisy of the storytelling is kind of jarring at the same time. We got to call a spade, and that's a spade over there. You're a spade. You know, like, the fact that Adam Pearce is doing nothing to Roman Reigns, just turn Adam Pearce heel. If they would make Adam Pearce a heel, it would solve all the problems. Adam Pearce can have favorites. He can just straight up have favorites and be like, yeah, Roman can do whatever he wants. You know, but he's a babyface and he acts like he's above all that, and he's not. But anyways, so Jacob does it again, and they leave. And Roman's like, you know, if people want some, they can come get some. And so, yes, loved that. Then we will then go to, and then later in the night, we will also have LA Knight, comes out, and he goes to Adam Pearce, and he says, I told you everything was going to happen on SmackDown. I told you the family was going to get involved, and they got involved. And Adam Pearce is like, what'd you want me to do? It's not my fault. Solo's not even with them. And again, Adam's not acknowledging the fact that Roman and his crew just beat up a celebrity, and LA Knight's like, I'm just going to go out there. And LA Knight does. And we also had earlier, Roman said to the twins, he called them the twins, he's like, why is LA Knight still, like, running his mouth? After they asked him, why? I thought you were going to make Jacob acknowledge us and that he had to listen to us when you weren't around. And then Roman's like, yeah, I called it audible. Imagine his perspective. He basically said that he's just going to be answering to Roman. And okay, so that's more power for Roman because now he has Jacob in his pocket. And he's like, but you know what? But what's the point? You guys aren't even handling LA Knight. And then Jay's like, I'll do it. And Jay's like all right-hand man Jay Uso now. And they even called him the right-hand man Jay Uso, which is, again, also a little jarring because on SmackDown he was yeet, kiddos, yeet. But here, tonight on Raw, Jay was like, bag boy, get my bags. Jay was a total jerk. And I like Jerk Jay, okay? I do. I actually like Jerk Jay more than Yeet Jay. So, like, this was my Jay, but again, Jay was not being a good guy here. And he's crashing out against Jacob. He's jealous against Jacob. LA Knight is out in the ring, and he's saying all these things. Then LA Knight is speaking a lot of truth. It's ironic. The only people speaking truth about the Bloodline reforming is LA Knight, Seth Rollins, Solo Sikoa, Drew McIntyre, and I think that's it, and CM Punk, right? And they all hate each other. They hate each other so much they can't unite because if they could unite, maybe there would actually be something for the Bloodline to fight. But they all hate each other so much, and the Bloodline is just gaining more and more power every single day. Then we have, so LA Knight's in the ring, and Jimmy comes out to try to talk to him, but then Jay's just like, screw this, and Jay comes out, and Jay's like, you need to acknowledge me, I'm better than you, and then LA Knight's like, I acknowledge you, kiss my butt, and Jay goes for a fight, and long story short, Jimmy has to super kick LA Knight. Right? He super kicks LA Knight, and Jay goes to get a chair, and Jimmy's like, don't use the chair, but that then allows LA Knight to get the jump on them. He picks up the chair and he starts hitting Jimmy with it. And so now Jimmy can be mad because I was trying to help you, LA Knight, but then you used the chair on me. But LA Knight's like, you kicked me in the face. And he's like, well, I'll just kick you in the face. It's just like a tangle webbed we weave. So this story is really cool. I'm actually really enjoying the LA Knight Jey Uso feud. I really do like this feud right now. And then Jacob just comes out and puts the tongue and death grip on. He says, we tried it your way, now we're doing it the OTC way. So again, Roman allowed Jimmy and Jay to try to handle it, but at the end of the day, he was going to do it his way, and his way was just beat up LA Knight. And he did tell Jacob something also. He's like, I got one more task for you, and then he whispered in his ear. I'm wondering if that task has something to do with making sure Jay becomes the king of the ring. We shall see. And that's pretty much the Bloodline stuff, but it was like throughout the show. So I like that it was throughout the show. And a lot of things, I think that's why the show went kind of a little faster than usual, because we had backstage segments and threads throughout the show. Now let's back it up to, we had Io Sky. She fought Raquel Rodriguez. I don't understand why the other Judgment Day members weren't out there with Raquel. It's a little weird, unless we could have just had Raquel say something like, hey, I'm going to do this on my own. But she didn't, and so she loses. And this one's tough. I really wanted Raquel to win, but I totally understand why Io Sky did win. I feel like Raquel needs to be bumped up into the main event scene permanently, but I also feel like Io Sky is not respected as a main event player at the same time. So this was not a win-win situation here. It was almost lose-lose. If Io Sky lost, it'd be disrespectful to her. If Raquel lost, it's almost like, oh God, just one more loss on her record. Is she ever going to actually make it to that main event scene? It's like, I know a lot of people were thinking, oh, we're going to get Raquel versus Liv Morgan in the in the finals, but no, we're not going to do that. Kind of reminded me of when it was like way back in the day. I remember there was like this one tournament, I think it was the Deadly Games tournament, Survivor Series 1998. Don't ask me why my mind went back there, but I remember in the brackets, I thought there was like X-Pac and Triple H were on the far ends of the brackets, and I'm like, oh, I bet those two will meet in the tournament, and then they just didn't, and I was like, oh, that's weird. That's weird that they would show us this option, and then they didn't give it to us. In this Queen of the Ring bracket, they had the option of Roxanne Perez, Liv Morgan, and Raquel Rodriguez, and we don't get any of that options. Instead of elevating Raquel Rodriguez, we just allowed Liv Morgan to look super tough. Liv Morgan didn't need to look super tough because she's a women's champion, and we could have just booked her correctly. But instead, we allowed the mid-card person who needs to bump up into the main event to just kind of take the L. So no shade on Io. Like, I agree with Io advancing, but I also would have much more agreed with Raquel advancing, if that makes sense. So didn't like that Raquel lost or was put in this position. I think I liked it when the King of the Ring was meant to elevate a mid-carder, not to reassert dominance of a main event player, because the King of the Ring was never really a main event thing. We had Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. They both did promos against each other. I am so not interested in this feud. It's like I almost got nothing to say. It's like, okay, we're still doing this, and now it's in a cage. And I'm like, a cage? Okay. Like, we've seen time and time again, people just climb the cage. So, like, sure, why not? I'm going to predict, this is my prediction. I bet Braun Breaker spears Seth Rollins, right, out of the cage. The cage will break. He spears him out. Seth will roll out and touch the ground first. And that's how he'll win. So it makes Braun Breaker look tough because, oh my God, he speared him right through the cage, but Seth gets the win. I'm calling that right here. I think they did that with Braun Strowman one time. I want to say that happened in like Crown Jewel or something in Saudi Arabia. Something like that, but I'm calling that. And I just don't care about this feud at all. They've done such a good job of making me not care about Braun Breaker. We'll talk more about that later, which sucks. I loved Braun Breaker. Absolutely loved Braun Breaker. And they are currently making me not care about Chad Gable. Like, I told you guys and gals last week that this I Respect You tour, I Apology tour of Chad Gable is a dead end. First off, we Def Rebel him, and his music now sucks. They brought back the American Alpha music last week just to give him some really, like, I don't even know, it was like the most generic music. It was such generic music. He comes out to that. He fights Rusev. Poor Rusev. It's like, I'm just looking at all these people, I'm like, wow, they are just like, what are we doing with these guys? Rusev has now just L after L after L after L. This guy is... It's a shame. It's a shame. And why are we letting Ethan Page talk? Ethan Page is such a good talker. I don't get that. So we have a good match between Chad Gable and Chad Gable and Rusev, but Chad Gable just wins. He just wins, and they attack him after. That's the MO. Ethan Page and Rusev, they lose, then they attack, but then they get ran off, so they look like chumps, complete chumps. And then we have Dragon Lee, Rey Mysterio, and then you have Chad Gable on his knees. And Chad Gable coming off the hottest storyline of the last, 10 years, in my opinion, if not longer. Go look at my channel. Very much high praise. I know I'm coming down on WWE right now a little bit, so maybe I don't like this episode. But, just 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. Chad Gable, he's apologizing to everybody. And he's on his knees, and it's like, will Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee, will they forgive him? Will they help him up? And then they do. But my thing is this. Rey Mysterio accepted his apology last week. So why are we doing this here? Why was it such a moment? Will they, won't they help him up to his feet? They settled this last week. They were all best buds last week. So it's like, all out of order, the storyline. And again, Chad just should be heel. Because where does this go? Where do we go? What is Chad doing? What is Chad doing as a babyface right now? He said he was going to apologize to some other people, the Alpha Academy, but he didn't. He said this tonight, I will apologize to other people, and he didn't. He had a little stare down with Maxine Dupree, but that was about it. And so Chad Gable, dumb music and apologizing to people and just happy to be here. And boy howdy, if Tess tells me one more time how much that Chad Gable's trying to re-earn the trust of everybody, I don't know what I'll do. I'll get a bucket and I'll just vomit in it. Because it's like, we get it. He feels bad about what he did and he's apologizing to everybody. He should be heel. I swear to you, this Respect Tour is going nowhere. Even if he gets a match with Penta at SummerSlam out of it, who cares? A good match is just a good match. But a match full of hatred, Grande Americano versus Grande Americano, that was a good, great match, full of hatred and story, and that made it so much better. That's made it so much memorable. You gotta have stories. You gotta have animosity with your good matches. That's what makes it epic and memorable. But I'm the problem. I'm actually the problem. That's what people tell me, actually. They tell me that I'm the problem. I did like Liv Morgan going up to Danhausen and saying, hey, she's trying to, do her feminine wiles on Danhausen, and Danhausen... Danhausen, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've never mind. I had a personal story to tell you on this one, but I probably shouldn't. Okay, I've been in that situation where I was the oblivious nerd that didn't know that somebody liked me, or I'm not trying to be like, oh, look at me, I'm such a whatever, but like Danhausen was so oblivious to Liv Morgan's like advances. And it was funny. It was funny. And then, but like Liv Morgan, that was your big plan, which I applaud her for trying to get Danhausen to curse, but like you didn't have nothing else. That was it. That was plan A, and that was it. No more plans to help Dirty Dom. So we shall, I thought that was a little weird. Roxanne Perez versus Charlotte. Liv Morgan came down. The story here was Roxanne Perez wanted to soften up Charlotte for Liv Morgan and Charlotte at SmackDown. I think this is, day 60 of Liv Morgan not defending her title? And don't come at me and be like, well, Jade didn't defend her title. Okay, we're not talking about Jade. Io Sky didn't defend her title. We're not talking about Io Sky. We're talking about Liv Morgan. She should be defending her title, not in Queen of the Ring. Go back on my channel, and I talked smack about Jade Cargill's title reign. I talked smack about Io Sky's title reign. They sucked. Now Liv Morgan's title reign sucked. Therefore, I will talk smack about Liv Morgan's title reign. Love Liv Morgan as a character. Hate Triple H's booking of the women's title. That's what it is. It's Triple H's booking. But the story here is Roxanne Perez hurt Charlotte Flair's hand. So that is where we're going to go with this. Charlotte will win, which I understand that booking. It's Charlotte Flair. Roxanne Perez is, while we all know she has the tools to be a main event player, out of her and Raquel, I feel Raquel should be the one being elevated right now. Roxanne Perez, it was an okay loss to have. She looked good against Charlotte Flair, but she did hurt Charlotte's hand. So we will see how that plays out on SmackDown. And then we had Javon Evans. He does come out, and he's like, I'm going to win. Then we have the Vision with Logan Paul, who is injured, legit injured, come out. He will say, you're joining us. Javon says, no, I'm not. Let's have a match. So Javon, Austin Theory, they have a match. And Javon goes for the OG cutter. And out of nowhere, Braun Breaker does a really good looking spear. And I was like, oh, wow, that was cool. And I liked it. I was like, Braun Breaker actually helping out his Vision mates. That's good. But I forgot the moment Braun Breaker does something good, we got to make him look like a loser. Because then we have the Street Profits come out. And I like the Street Profits, but since WrestleMania, the entire story with the Profits is they're going to come out and attack and run off the Vision. That's literally the entire story. And for a moment, Montez Ford and Seth Rollins weren't trusting each other than they were. But so they come out and they instantly make Braun Breaker look like a chump. He's running away again. Just please give the Street Profits the title and get Braun Breaker on SmackDown or something. Get Braun Breaker away. Just get him away. Let him go away for a year and come back, and just rename him Steiner at that point, because you've done the damage. You've done the damage to Braun Breaker. I just don't care about him. I don't care about Braun Breaker anymore. Congratulations. I know Scotty had a better body than you, Triple H, and so yeah, you got your revenge. Good job, Triple H. I don't care about Braun Breaker anymore. You did it, buddy. You did it. Okay. Yeah. Why did I think I liked this episode? Wait, there's more. So, Oba Femi is fighting Dominic Mysterio, and we need to bury the AAA champion still. So I like Obafemi. Again, go back on my channel. You will see me like, oh, I love Obafemi. I love Obafemi. This is going to be, but I think I need to say, I love NXT Obafemi. I love NXT Obafemi. This WWE Obafemi, he can only do like, 4 moves? What did he do tonight? I think he caught Dominic, and did he throw him? He does a fall from grace, he does some running uppercuts, and he does that thing where it's like he just kind of like throws you. It's like he can do more than that. I liked his promo after. His promo was really good, but I did not like him just burying the AAA champion. I don't care if it's Dominic Mysterio. The AAA championship. Get the AAA championship then off Dominic Mysterio. Put it on El Grande Americano, Vikingo, Omos. Put it on somebody before we let anybody, I don't care who it is, even Roman Reigns I don't want squashing the AAA champion. And it's like, but that's what we do. It was literally 2-on-1 in this match. And that's another thing I don't like. I didn't like it when they did it to Largaza. I didn't like it when Oba did it to the War Raiders. And I hate the War Raiders. Someone called them the Boar Raiders. I thought that was funny. But like, I just don't. I'm sorry. I don't like super overpowered baby faces. If Oba was a heel, then I'd be all for it. If Oba was just a heel, I'd be like, this is amazing, because baby faces have to overcome a heel. But like Oba the baby face, like what does he got to overcome? He doesn't have to overcome nothing. Nothing. So I don't know. I did like his promo after though, so I will say that. I liked his promo after. He called out Brock Lesnar, and we need to do more of that. We need to give Oba more mic time. He's really good on the mic, but we also need to allow him to have more moves. Triple H, can you please go and watch his tapes from NXT? He had a triple threat with Dominic Dijak and somebody. Like, go watch that. You're gonna be amazed that Oba actually knows more than 3 moves. Like, I'm not even joking. Triple H, please go do that. That's some free advice. I don't even know. I don't know. Like I said, I actually enjoyed myself, but like when I really like break it down, they did some long-term damage. They did some long-term damage to characters tonight, and that's your Monday Night Raw review. All right, boys. All right. What should I give? How many chops? I don't even know how many chops to give it. This is the weirdest one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just going to give it a 6. 6. I'm going to give it a 6. 0.2. All right, boys. All right, girls. Go leave a hot take. See you tomorrow. Bye.